Hello, my name is Sarah McDonald. I am with the Starters Block at ATL, and today we're going to be talking to Jasmine J.R Tilman, a local author, artist, director, you name it. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Toledo, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
How you liking it down here in
I
the
like
South?
it. It's great though because, back in my hometown, I really feel like there was nothing there for me. Um, so Atlanta, Georgia, because in Ohio we call it all this is Atlanta. The whole Georgia, we call it Atlanta.
It's just the state of Georgia
Yeah,
is
I
Atlanta.
didn't know that it was Georgia until I
Yes, it.
got here. Like they be
Yeah,
like, I'm in Atlanta, but yeah, so I really like it though. Like it's
yeah.
good. The people, I really love it here. Yeah.
So, how are you involved in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, so I am a multi-award winning author, three-time best-selling co-author, as well as a production coordinator. And girl, I'm so many things I'll be forgetting sometimes.
Wear of many hats,
You know what I'm
as
saying?
we as
I
we all
always say
say
that on
now.
many things. Yeah, but so my main goal is to I'm gonna be a screenwriter, director, and producer. That's the main goal. So these
I
like
see.
yeah, I'm just planting seeds. So
Yeah.
with these many titles, it's just me planting seeds for those three big titles.
No, I feel you. I think a lot of my philosophy is to like kind of learn as much as you can about all the sort of departments and everything,
Yeah,
so you can have a better language to speak when it comes your turn to be in charge,
exactly.
basically. So I think that's a very admirable approach
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well. Um, so we're kind of here at the starters block trying to discuss and figure out a way forward within Hollywood and within the scope of everything being a reboot or everything, sort of we're just doing the same things over and over again. So I think I just want to ask you, first of all, like, what is your opinion on sort of reboots within our industry right now in the state that we're at as a movie
Yeah.
enjoyer and a participant in its creation as well?
Yeah. So I mean, it's like with reboots. Okay, so I'm gonna be biased right now with reboots. As far as my Avatar: The Last Airbender, that's my thing. That they can
Okay.
reboot that as many times as they want. But with me, as far as reboots and me coming into the industry, well, switching over from the industry because I've been writing books for 6 years, so I've been in that industry. So now I am transitioning over to film and everything for
Yeah.
not I want to say full time, but like my main thing is going to be
Your main
film.
focus.
Yeah. So it's like with reboots, I think that like with me, I like to be extremely authentic with everything I do. So I always think outside of the box.
Yeah.
So it's like, doing the same thing as over and over, you know what they say, insanity, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
just
true.
like, yeah, it's just, it can get boring.
I think so.
Also see like both sides of it
Yeah.
because we have the one side where we can somebody else from their perspective and their perception they can create the world recreate the world that somebody else did.
Yeah. Like if anything, like if you're telling the story, any person who tells the story is going to be told how they tell it.
Exactly.
However, after a certain amount of time, I do think there are certain beats in certain pieces of media that like we just don't need to keep seeing.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other side,
Yeah.
it can get boring,
Yeah. Well, stagnant.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you like seeing the same actors over and over again? Because we're also coming into sort of a time period where we're just using a lot of favorites and not
Yeah.
really seeing a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
And like tying that into seeing the same stories over again. Do you think like how are you feeling about the sort of pool of talent and the involvement in sort of just using the same pieces over and over?
Yeah, like the same I just feel like change is inevitable. And it's like
Yeah.
we were conditioned, like I ain't gonna get preachy, but we we were conditioned, it's brought down from generation to generation to be afraid of change, to be afraid of doing things differently.
Yeah.
And but that's like people don't know that change is it can be the one step to the best time of your life or the
Yeah.
best experience of your life.
Yeah.
So I feel like that changing things up with especially like with seeing different actors and everything, I think it'll definitely help the entertainment industry and
Yeah.
bringing in new talent, giving people chances. And
Definitely.
well, basically, well, how I feel about, because I ain't gonna get all the way off subject, but it's like with chances, I feel like people, I'm in that area where I'm tired of begging for chances and I'm taking my own.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that, those actors that want to, be actors or want to get in this industry, that they break down that wall themselves.
I definitely have seen that as a trend where, I mean, things are just getting so difficult to make and be a part of just because of the infrastructure that is laid.
Yeah.
That sort of everyone I'm running into these days
Yeah.
are just people who are like, I wanted to do this, so I made it myself and I did it.
Yeah.
And not like, I'm looking for an agent to give me this or, whatever.
Exactly.
It's like, I wanted to be an action star, so I wrote an action film and I'm
Yep.
an action star in my own action film. So
Yep.
it's kind of a very DIY scene going on right now from what I've seen as well. But we're talking about change and everything. And I agree with you, like, change is sort of the catalyst to every new and exciting thing in life.
Yeah.
But so, how do you think that like time and like change over time is affecting with like all the reboots and everything? Because we can reboot something that's in recent history. Thinking about How to Train Your Dragon, that was like not that long ago that it was an animation, and then we rebooted it into a live action. And then we also have things from like the '80s, like Pet Sematary. Um, so if we have things from all of these different sort of eras and we're still like making them more and more, do you think it changes whether the source material comes from further in the past or if it's more recent? Do you think that you have a different opinion on how it's used?
So this is a good question. I feel like people like using the same. It is like it becomes verbatim
Uh-huh.
because it's like you using the same thing over and over. Like I said, it do get boring, but it's like, okay. I feel like with that, maybe the kids from the younger generation could like see where the people was coming from that
Mm-hmm.
made that. But it's like at the same time, so what's so funny is that you asked this question. I had someone say to me, experience, I'm telling you from experience, but they want me to see from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
My perspective, my perception, my reality, your perception, your reality. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, so it's like, seeing the same thing over and over. I guess it'll probably teach lessons to, the kids that's coming.
Yeah.
But I see
In
where
the
you're
same
coming
breath,
from.
it's like the lessons have been taught already. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's
Just show
exactly.
them the original one.
Exactly. No, I feel that though. Like, and I do feel that. So I feel like, I don't know, like, what do you think though? Like, do you think that
I think, I
it's,
mean, generally, I agree. Generally, I agree that it's getting sort of stagnant. But I
I
do
feel
think,
that.
I mean, I can see sort of an argument for bringing back things into more mainstream culture that are either not well known to begin with,
Okay.
or like a certain time has passed where it's like out of the sort of cultural zeitgeist of things that people think about. Then I feel like it's more appropriate to bring it back personally
Okay.
rather than like something that we're all already talking about. Harry Potter,
Yeah.
you
They
know,
bringing that back?
they made a television show, recast everybody. It's happening. It's been happening. So
I, I haven't watched it. I couldn't.
that's what I'm
Wasn't it
saying.
like mad long? Where that was the books that was mad long. Harry
All of it.
Potter.
All of it.
Okay.
But those movies are good. What's wrong with them?
You said they were good. The
Yeah,
movies
you have to make a whole new
type shit
show.
though.
But anyway.
Yeah, I
So
feel that.
you were talking about this person who said like he was trying to give you advice from experience. How do you think the reboot situation is affecting you as you're sort of emerging into filmmaking, and you're sort of seeing the playing field that you're given, and seeing how things are being acquired and being produced and what people want to actually pay for. So how do you think that like this whole reboot situation is going to be impacting you as you're coming into this industry?
Oh, that's a good question because I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
Yeah.
I know that I'm hoping that when I come in and that people that will intake my outside thinking and can take me and, just either apply that to their lives or use it for entertainment. Either or. So I'm hoping that,
Laugh or learn.
huh?
Laugh or learn.
You know what I'm saying? Or they can do both,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that, that I could give people a different aspect of thinking
Yeah.
and being themselves. So, like with the reboots and everything that's coming about, I'm hoping that, people, these younger generations that's coming after me or at the same time as I'm coming into the industry, I hope that they can take in like what I'm dishing out, because that's gonna be fully and like authentic,
Yeah.
authentically me, and thoughts that come to my head and it come out. So I'm hoping that, we can branch out,
Yeah.
new stuff.
Get new
But
perspectives to think
yeah, new
about.
perspectives.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I also do, feel the reboots and everything, because it's like, because I know what you're gonna say. I do, like, I guess for, like, other people with different aspects.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always like trying to see from all sides and everything.
I feel like maybe where you're coming from is you are more interested in experimenting and
Yeah.
finding new things, whereas I feel like a lot of people who are more, pro reboot stance are coming at it from like just a deep
Yeah.
nostalgia
Yeah.
and sort of like wanting to
Ooh.
feel the way that they felt when they saw.
That's so crazy. I was just gonna, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
because when I watch, okay, I'm the Avatar, The Last Airbender. That's my stuff, like, forever. And when I was younger, it got me through areas of my life, and I
Yeah.
rewatch it now a lot because it's helping me get through more of life, and it takes me back to when I was a kid, when stuff
Right.
wasn't that this hard, or challenges and everything. Because I'm at an area of my life where I respect and appreciate the challenges that's teaching me and growing me to that next level.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely, like, I see where, the nostalgia is coming from. I'm kind of like neutral with it.
Right in the line there a little
Yeah,
bit.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like neutral with it. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I totally understand that perspective, but I think where I come from as an artist personally is, yeah, I want to explore and I want to learn new things that I don't already know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to expand my existence.
Yep.
Although, I am, of course, I'm a victim of comfort shows, comfort movies. I love to rewatch
I feel
things.
that. Yeah.
But I think also, like, to that degree of my dedication to those original properties, I get a little bit scared when somebody says they're going to remake it.
Okay.
I was like, maybe I don't want them to touch that. That was perfect to me.
Oh, so do you feel like it'll mess with how you felt in that moment with the
maybe
other
so.
movie?
I think that is at least a valid approach to the whole situation, is like why people maybe are so sensitive about the topic, is because I think a lot of people don't want to see something they love bastardized or whatever they think in their mind, myself included. So I think it's also just a scary concept of all we're gonna see forever is the same. You know?
I feel that.
But I don't know.
That's that touching on that point where I was speaking about earlier, where people is afraid of change.
Yeah. So, well, how do you think this whole reboot, the popularity of doing these, came up? How do you think that sort of started, and what influenced it to grow more, to be so prevalent into what we're experiencing right now?
I think because the world is shifting.
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, I feel like that people want to hold on to, the old times, and they afraid of where the world is taking us, especially with AI coming into play and everything. But it's like people, it's if you don't adapt or to the new coming, you gonna get left behind. So I feel like that the movies are piquing their imaginations and helping them be comfortable where they are, because don't nobody really know from real.
I think you have a point there, and that the state of the world that we're living in, I feel like no one can really avoid acknowledging what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction for a lot of people to be reaching for familiarity when there's already so much unexpected everything in your environment.
True. Yeah.
So I can see that too as an argument for wanting to keep rolling with reboots and recreations of stories that exist already because you are
Back in the day.
comfortable with what's coming. You know.
Yeah.
So I
that
can
was
see
a
that
good point.
too.
Yeah.
How about the industry improve? If we stop using reboots and like framing the same stories and such familiar ways over Ripper. I think there's always room for movement equity. I think that like if they were to stop using the previous and everything, that we can see more to sort of creative bonds of others, like and expand in different ways and different approaches. Because okay, so Papa always bring out but like those thoughts and those like those skills God put it to us, we can express those in different ways and creative ways as artists, and bring that into the industry and feed the minds of the generation that's behind us.
Yeah. So they would essentially like, if you gave more room for people to tell original stories, or at least semi-original or creative stories in interesting ways, it would, I mean, essentially it would just make the world richer rather than
Recycling. So I just bought a question because it's something. Okay. Oh, you're asking me a question. Yeah, could I ask you a question? Okay, well, I think it's like as far as CHD.
Hey, I'm right
So basically, what we have like, and my question rare though. With
richer and fire.
okay, I got it. With like how we have and stuff that get passed down from generation to generation as far as like I always exposed trauma and everything, but like as far as things that happen, the same stuff that happens, yeah, it happens to the next generation in different ways. Are you speaking on like those people telling those different stories stuff happen, or do you think that do you think that uh things that happen in life, like with people, it can happen different.
I see what you're saying. Uh, I obviously I think that life in general is very cyclical. There are archetypes for a reason. But like many people go through sort of a similar hero's journey of like you struggle, you overcome certain like obstacles, you almost win, you don't win. It makes winning better, but you do, and then that's the like what we're getting as this sort of story structure about the general hero story film. And I think could even at the format might be there's so many things you can do within the structure of that to change it into things that are
Yeah, because and that's what, and I see it's like you just talked about like with the rate, because that's what people want to see. They want to see somebody struggle, then they want to see somebody overcome struggle. But it's just, I definitely get that urge that you need to talk that.
Do you think there's any sort of solution to this sort of conundrum? Like, do you see any layout that you could advise the industry to do?
Oh,
If not, join the rest of us. We're working on it.
Yeah, I can only be open minded and you know, hope that hope that people you just be themselves. That's the main advice I could like not I give my mentees and everything.
I mean, yeah, that's the advice you always hear, but I think it doesn't sink in until you actually don't do.
yes.
And then you're like, ooh.
That was
But people gotta you said you said they show them the next.
Oh, no, no.
oh, on soul shit.
Depending on where you're at, the context, you can be someone else.
I barely feel that though. But yeah, I feel like it was this affirmation that came up on my phone, and I'm extremely ambitious. So it pressed me for a while. So I did and get into a 2-year relationship because I wanted to be loved, and then I knew, and I tried to take the easy way out, and I did work on my career for that little while. That was that. But I was well this I guess this strong little order, after we left the burger that day. And I just felt like I was gonna change the world.
Yeah.
And you know,
Is it still?
yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. That's period. I like the optimism.
And the affirmation popped up on my phone and it said, change the world by being yourself. Yeah. So, and it just goes back to, I feel, just me personally, I don't know everybody's like purpose, but I feel like God is within be the us. And, listen, like, trust yourself, then we could be more creative and red chop, so upholding, leadership Buddhists yourselves, like, not be afraid and, but yeah, because the world tell us, like, so we all sorry, the world tell us what they want to be besides taking our damn honeys. There's the gas. Have you seen gas sale? Not because it's our honey,
I mean, sure, yes.
okay. But shit is like I can't not sweat. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, so it's just like I feel like if people just be themselves gore, it'll be a happier place. So son of pride and equals worlds.
Do you think that in telling these stories and creating these projects, you think there's anything in the casting world that could be done differently to sort of influence, some new energy?
I think like so I have been seeing okay, so Tubi, they creative. But some no. So I feel like Tubi be, they be casting, giving people creative freedom and giving people those chances that we talking about. Some of that stuff, I be like, hey, like they playing, they was bored, they ain't had nothing to do that day, and they came work. Like, but
Somebody's got to experience some.
you know what I'm saying? But I feel like some people just bored. I don't know.
No, I think that happens too. You got resources to make something you was making.
True. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, what I feel like two is one of those been resources that's giving people that, that's helping cast people that like, it's like you said, giving them experience to, build up and get more serious about their craft.
Okay.
On that sort of note, thoughts about the introduction of AI in the film industry. Like, do you think that AI is going to continue to replace people and departments and whole sections of the filmmaking process? Do you think that trend is going to continue?
Yeah, I knew. Oh, okay. But I also feel like, and I take this back to so that, we are always going to be creative people, and like, and it ties back into like it just ties everything that we talk about so far. If people be creative and reach within, they can. We don't like how with Tubi and of other platforms they could create or was talking about DIY, and because I feel like that I don't know less really, but with AI, I think it's in taking like with the major corporations and everything AI that has to do with that.
We had these other AI actors go.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing too. So
We also Marvel just laid off all of their conceptual artists because they're getting that job to AI now. All the people who like designed the look for all the Marvel movies, like Fantastic Four and that bureau, and like a lot of the visuals and the visual language that was established with Marvel and Disney. Those people are going now.
recently, yeah, but like I feel like honestly, shit, excuse me.
No, I mean that's it. Deserved.
Yeah, they, I feel like, it is BS, but it's at the end of the day, I don't like to dwell on things. I just feel like it is what it is. But I also feel like the people who don't can come together and they can be ready. They should delay all thing, and they deserve better. It happened like what was supposed to happen. Cause it's like whatever, like it's like all right, AI, cool. Go ahead and do y'all anyway. But like we just doing, yeah, we will DIY it anywhere. We will do it. Y'all, we're probably ain't paying them enough for what they deserve, making no skin work like hell to get in better positions when they was working in the first place. So I feel like, IP, intellectual property and ownership is extremely important. Yep. So I feel like, like I said, people like reaching themselves and bringing out that creativity that they can. Oh, hello, I had something to say up here, tonight. Oh no, you built so. Yeah, and I just like, I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about ownership and, people knowing they're okay. Like, that's what I feel.
I think that's a really interesting point. Just like looking into the future of like at a certain point when everything's said like who owns it.
Right.
Like for Disney, does it's like that's a computer generation thing. Like, does that belong to the developers of the people who program the AI or to Disney because they who thought about it? And that like in the future that might come this year.
But they always do also without me really thinking about so. I'm just like, I ain't gonna lie, like with the world, if it's so backwards to me, honestly, I just be like, bro, whatever. Let me just go ahead and just get happy. Yeah, I'm not. Let me just be thankful, right? Because I used to be so stressed out. I was crying, like, I'm like, man, I'm cool. I'm just gonna be myself here and work and help, like, help my flock that people that attracted me and the people that want to learn from me and I can learn from them. That that's how I feel.
I think on
The way the hell, yeah, can't control there. I just be trying to control everything, and I used to have my old picture printing out, but Robert Gray, they had that real afraid thoughts or cover. And I followed through Instagram and I saw a post that was just like, he was like, don't trust somebody that had that whole entire, future planned out. He was also like, it's boring.
so many things could happen to change in our map. I was that first year, it's different.
Yes, I used to be that person. Like I had everything cut out of the road. I still have the foundation of where I want to be, but I don't have it like clipped exactly out of here. That's a quick one here. Stress yourself out for all the stress for a long time. And girl, that's feels out of back high, reaching certain milestones when you watch it. Set the most highest statures for myself and being sad. Like, everybody.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No matter if I do else.
Very not the creative about this nice. There on a few projects.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, I do want to keep my book, you know, the my book one of my trilogy, it's a successful entrepreneur who made it to where uh, he was, I'm going to say supposed to be, but he made it to where he wanted to be, but his past caught up with him. So, if he's doing whatever to maintain his empire, but like, I like to teach lessons and, like, I want to say everything I write, because I used to say everything I write, but as I grow and change, I feel like that, people go take in what they want to take in and dish out what they want to dish out. I'm just writing how I feel in a different, experiences that I felt in my life. So take from it cool, can't entertainment. Yeah. So this is book one. I have booked, so I'm going on Atlanta book tours coming soon. I am coordinating the dates and everything. It's going to be available on my Instagram, on my website. At Jasmine_J.R_Tilman is low, but it's okay. My website gonna be up in I also have book two coming out. It's gonna be downtown Atlanta. I have the book of beasts for book two, The Mind, The Bushes of the Wasp. That's coming out as well. Following story of the first one. And then we're gonna end it off with a mixer for the authors and entrepreneurs to come hit and sell their books. And like I'm still coordinating that as well. I'm gonna have like people come to speak, live interviews and everything. It's gonna be it's something by. So it's gonna be in the let too. But yeah, so
Okay. Thank you so much for study time. Hey, so you're on a James. Also conversation.
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been the Starters Blog KTO. Have a good one.
Right.